So I'm here
Hello.
with Chris
Hey,
from
Romeo.
Pipeline.AI,
Yes.
formerly IBM Spark Technology Center, formerly Netflix.
Formerly Netflix.
Did I
Formerly
forget?
Databricks. Yeah.
Okay, all the cool companies.
All the cool companies.
So tell me, what is the cool company now that Pipeline.AI?
Yeah, Pipeline.AI. We're focused. Actually, the name is a bit of a misnomer because we're actually focused on the end of the pipeline,
Okay.
and that's getting models like machine learning models, AI models, into production, and being able to experiment quickly. And like the core idea too is to package your model with the runtime. And so of course we're using Docker for this. So
Okay.
we're trying to get data science teams to think about not just the model itself and really doing hyperparameter tuning on the actual model, but also tuning that runtime and changing things like the batch sizes for like high throughput, like predictions, inference, that kind of thing. So really just kind of surfacing engineering things and making certain optimizations accessible to data scientists, right?
Okay.
So the ability not for the data scientists to just train the model, but to also package it up in a runtime and then like deploy them quickly and test across.
Okay. So I've seen you have a highly rated GitHub repository, so all is open source?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most of it's open source. Yeah, that's when you start to talk to investors and you look to grow beyond just the 3 people right now. They want to know where's the money going to be made. So this is tough for me. I'm a community guy, but I feel what's in open source right now gets you really, really far. And the things that'll be on top of that, of course, would be like the normal enterprise stuff, the security, the scalability, the ability to route traffic. So like more of like basically, yes, any feature that would require a cluster. And so we're using Kubernetes like beneath the covers, but we're hiding all that. That's not exposed. Question. I would say, I mean, Spark isn't going anywhere, but any new projects that start up, I mean, that's the big difference is if it's a new project, I see a lot of people just starting with TensorFlow. They very quickly, just like you mentioned earlier on stage, they very quickly run into the ETL and the feature engineering and the large scale data processing. That stuff does exist within TensorFlow, but it's not very well documented right now. There's no tooling to do it.
It's low level. It's very low level.
Yeah, very low level. Things like Keras and such are focused, which are higher level APIs for TensorFlow, are focused on model training, and still haven't really addressed the ETL and all the normal data processing. So right now, like we're in a split. People use. There's a bridge. So there's like an ecosystem project off of the main TensorFlow like GitHub account, and that has Spark. Basically, Parquet to TF record file format converters.
TensorFrames, you mean?
No, so TensorFrames is what you would drop into your Spark. That's like part of your Spark application. Whereas this is more if you treat the 2 clusters separately, and the bridge between them would be writing a TF record file. So similar to Parquet.
Got it. Okay.
But see, those are optimized for like analytics workloads and lots of aggregations, things like that. Whereas TF record, that's TensorFlow's file format. That's more optimized for these deep learning type like workloads. So like down to the file format layer. But they all support HDFS now, which is really cool. That came about 3 or 4 months after TensorFlow was released. So back then it was really hard to get between systems because you couldn't get to HDFS. But both TensorFlow and TensorBoard, which is the tooling that kind of gives you insight during training. So what's going on, that supports like HDFS also. So you could actually have like large clusters that are all writing out. And TensorBoard can then render them.
What's your favorite programming language?
Man, I resisted Python for so long, and I still miss types, static typing from Java. I mean, I'm a JVM guy since the early 2000s, whatever. But Haven't really dabbled into Go or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I'd say the one I use the most right now is Python, of course. But man, I've been doing more and more C and C++, and it just brings me back to the happy days of being in college and being in high school.
Oh,
and,
I see.
I just get that hardcore feeling again.
Okay.
Like if I'm doing Python or even Java, I feel like I'm too far from the metal. So
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.